Alright guys, welcome back. So in this video, I'm going to share with you a few tips on how you can improve your trading results and overall just get better results over the long term. So let's just get right into it. So number one of the main mistakes that I see a lot of people doing is that they take too many correlated trades. They don't realize that the trades are correlated, and then they add way too much risk on the market. And so if they lose, well, then they end up losing a lot more than what they should have. So let me give you guys an example. Let's say that you see, an opportunity on USD yen, on Euro yen, on CAD yen, right? On all these different yen pairs on the forex market. Is it good to take all these trades? Well, not necessarily, because if you see the same scenario on all the yen pairs, it means that what you are going to trade is a yen movement, okay? And so if you take this trade, okay, on all these different currency pairs, at the end of the day, they might just move all together and you might just be taking one trade. But if you don't realize it and you put too much risk overall on these trades, then you are just too exposed to the market. So let's say that you take, a 2% risk normally on your trades, right? Well, if you take, these three positions, then in reality, you have 6% risk on the same trade because it's the same idea. So whenever that you take trades on the market, whenever that you build your portfolio, make sure that you don't take correlated positions. Or if you do take correlated positions, then you need to reduce your risk in order to not be too much exposed to the market. So that is very, very important. And I see a lot of people losing a lot of money on the markets because of that. They just don't realize, but they are taking correlated trades. They are basically trading the same fundamental idea, but just on different charts. And then the problem is that if they lose, then they lose way more than what they should have. So that is one big mistake. And then, so that's number one, okay? Number two, another thing that you could do to really improve your results, and that is also kind of related to this, is that whenever that you take a trade, you need to make sure that the risk that you put on this trade, you can actually handle it in terms of your emotions. So a lot of people trade with, certain amount of money, but they are not able to deal with this when it comes to their emotions. So let's say that you risk, $100, $200, $500, $1,000, right, on each trade. Are you able emotionally to handle that, right? Is this something that you are comfortable with risking? And if the answer is no, then that's a massive problem, because you're never going to be okay over the long term if you risk something that you're not willing to lose. So always monitor your risk, not only in terms of the money, not only in terms of the percentage of your equity, but also in terms of your emotion. This is one big part that a lot of people forget to do, but I'm telling you guys, it's really, really important. Just because the risk management could be good relative to the equity, if it's not good to your psychology, it will be a massive problem. So making sure that you have a good risk management for your own self as well, and that you are able to sustain over the long term. And so the third point, that also kind of comes with this, is that you need to be patient to grow your trading account over the long term. And as you grow your trading account over the long term, you will become more and more and more comfortable with taking bigger risk, and it's not going to affect you emotionally. So just to share with you guys, a bit of my journey. At the beginning, 6 years ago, well, 5 years ago, because I started to learn about trading 6 years ago, but I started my first live account 5 years ago, okay? So 5 years ago, really, when I started my first live account, I had less than $200 in the account. Why? Well, I was 16 years old, okay? So when you are 16 years old and you don't come from a rich background, well, you don't have much more money than this to put on a trading account. So I had a very small account, which means that at the beginning, in terms of the money, I was taking very, very small risk. I was risking, like $10 per trade, right? And so over time, as I grew my account, this $10 risk became, $20, $50, $100, $200, $500, etc., etc., right? So I just kept on growing my risk as time went on because I was growing my account. And so I was not that uncomfortable with doing that because I took the time to do it. I was patient in the process and I did not try to skip all the first steps. Okay. So at the beginning, risking $10 for me on every trade as a 16-year-old kid who has no money, that was a lot. Okay. And then after that, I started to make some money and then I was risking, $50 per trade. And then that $50 was, relatively a lot as well for me, right? Like when you're young, you don't have much money, but I was okay with risking that because prior to that, I had risked only $10. And then over time, you just keep increasing your risk. You start to make more money, and then these amount of money, they start to lose their meaning as well. So today, I would not just risk $10 or $50 or $100 on a trade. That would be useless for me, like it's way too small. Like that would not be important. I would just not even care about the position if it was that small. But 5 years ago for me, it was a good position to have. It was a good size trade to put on the market. So as time went on, I was growing my account. I was becoming more and more comfortable with taking bigger risk on the market, and that's just perfectly normal. But the point is that you guys need to be patient and to do the things correctly in order to get to this level. You understand? So it's really, really important that even if right now, you have a small account, you're not risking a lot, you don't make much money, it's important that you are patient, that you stick with the process and that you keep going, because over time, if you're good and when you build your account, you will become more and more comfortable with taking bigger risk, and you will be able to make more and more money as time goes by. So these were 3 tips on how to improve your trading results. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like under it. You can also share it around. And on that, take care, trade with care, manage your money well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.